All right, one of the things that the Browns will need to do is clean up those issues in the secondary. So Browns defensive coordinator Joe Woods has come under some scrutiny, let's say scrutiny, some fire for the way the defense is playing. He talked today about correcting those errors that have led to the big plays.
I mean, that's normal for us. Just, I've reduced some of those calls just because of the issues we were having. So we don't have as many, double calls or checks based on whatever it may be. But it's up to them. We do it verbally, do it with hand signals. And again, there's always a sender and there's a receiver, but you have to acknowledge that you got the information. So we work on that. We have crowd noise at practice, and I feel like the guys have done a good job the last couple of weeks.
And again, got to make sure everybody is on the same page, especially with the big arm quarterbacks that are coming around here.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm interested to see is how they play once they simplify this thing down, because part of the reason you would want to have all these complications in your defense is like, hey, if they check to this, we check to that. They do this, we do this, right? And it kind of requires, and I think the team that's probably the best at it in the division is the Cincinnati Bengals, and it kind of speaks to my point. They're not the most talent-rich team on that side of the ball, but that's how they can get by, is because they're all in tune and very smart, and they can change plays on the go. Same thing with like a Bill Belichick defense, where what you see is not what you get all the time, because they're able to just make these adjustments because they have like 3 or 4 play calls sometimes, given on the different situation. And they're all smart enough veteran players in that system to where they can switch to it and be on the same page. And that's what makes those defense be able to make up for their talent gap. The Browns don't necessarily have a talent gap. So they might be able to get away with just being in 1 or 2 calls, or just one call the whole play, because they just have the superior talent. And I think we saw that at the end of last year. And I think that might just be a lesson Joe Woods is learning, is when you have this many guys who are playmakers, they're not necessarily going to fall into that structure of, hey, I'm going to check into this and that, because they're thinking, hey, I can make a play if I jump this. But then if somebody else is thinking I can make a play if I jump this, then all of a sudden you see where the bridge starts to fall in the middle of the pavement, right? Like you can see where it goes down.